I'm Marnie, and I've been obsessed with documentaries.
And I'm Chrissy. I haven't, but I'm giving it a go.
We watch so you don't have to. Or maybe you do, and just want a completely fact-free synopsis.
Expect spoilers and tangents.
Because we're not here to educate.
We trade accuracy for entertainment every time.
This is the Gist Project.
A pasta feed at our house. 40 people.
What?
And we didn't have to make food. People brought food.
Yeah. That's a lot of people, Moon.
It's so many people.
I got, the hairs on my arm just stood up.
Oh, and Bobby was gone all week. And Mary had a hockey thing. And so Bobby got home and I was like, I gotta go. So he took care of it. Now in my defense, I did have the garage all set up.
Okay.
Ready to go.
We're feasting in the garage?
Yep.
Okay.
There's 40 people.
Yeah, I suppose. Where do you put all those people?
So, we had tables, we had to rent chairs. I got the brown paper for my tablecloths because I don't want to buy plastic tablecloths.
Obviously.
So anyway, I got it all set up. And then I was home to take some dishes from some parents because they show up at your house at random times.
No.
We told them to. But then you've got Lulu and then some getting the things.
And 100 things of food, where do you put all that?
Well, I left.
Wait, hold on a second. So this was on Friday?
Yeah.
And you left because you went with Mary to hockey. So what was this pasta feed?
Swimming.
This was the swimming pasta feed
team on Saturday. Yeah.
So was it just athletes or were the parents there too?
No, coaches were there.
Okay.
Athletes and coaches.
Was Addison there?
No, I don't think so.
Well,
Too far for him.
Yeah. No. I'd hate for him to have to walk.
Yeah, up the hill.
Right.
No, I don't know. I don't think he was there. Bobby said he had called. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm in the craft room right now with the door closed. So he was just kind of holed up in the room, but he did it. He's our chef anyway.
Well, he is. Yeah. This actually is right up his alley.
He doesn't think it, but it is.
But to go from being on the road to stepping into your house to then host 100,000 people.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
I had no idea that was something that was on your to-do list. But okay, as a fellow captain's mom, why didn't you do it at the school?
Because the captain's moms before us did it at their homes.
No.
Yes. I didn't know it was a school thing. And one of the moms was like, oh, when I was on the swim team, we used to do these at the school. And I thought, so smart. So smart.
That is, I've never done one at our home. We've always done them. Okay.
See,
I'm not going to shame you, but...
No, but it's follow the leader.
It is,
right?
Yes.
We got the email from the previous captain's moms. And
here's what we do.
It was done.
Okay.
So now we know.
To never do that again.
Well, and I should probably warn the other moms, but they're already signed up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my. Yeah. Guess how much work it takes. You send an email to the middle school and you say, we need the cafeteria.
Oh, yeah. So... Okay,
send.
I don't know.
You know, it's food for that, but I mean, that's great.
It's too easy.
And I love that you actually didn't have to do any of it.
No.
And that Bobby,
except for the prep. I did have to clean all the house, get the garage set up.
Sure. Which is no small feat. That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And then to just have to leave.
Yeah, we're close to Halloween, and we have real spiders in the corner of the garage.
And how you feel about them?
Kept them up as a decoration because I'm like, I don't know how to get there.
And would you even want to deal with him?
No.
As they wiggle around?
They're not bothering me.
I feel like you're growing in this.
I am. I'm keeping my eye on these guys. And if they get closer to my door, we'll have an issue. Okay. But so far, they're in the corner. It's almost like a good morning, good night. Stay there. You're pretty big. They get pretty big.
Have they started jumping or anything?
No, they're big. They're too big to jump. Yeah, they're not jumpers.
Okay.
How about you?
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah.
It's like one big mishmashed weekend. So one day I got a hair up my butt and I thought, well, I better get going on this fall decor look. To your point, we're coming up on Halloween. And so 'tis the season for mums.
Oh, yeah.
And I had my summer pots all potted with these gigantic canna bulbs, which, rumor has it, you can pull those suckers up and save them, winter them. So I unbeknowingly, who cares? I took those pots and I wrangled out the canna bulbs, which took hours.
I have some at home. I better do this.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, yeah, in fact, you need to get going on this because there've been frost. So I pulled out the canna bulbs and they're now drying, but what were, one per pot. So I had 3 pots. Now there's, I think, 9 bulbs.
Wow.
Pretty excited about this because now so I took the bulbs out and I'm drying them. What you're supposed to do is you dry them for a week and then you put them in peat moss in a plastic bag and then you put them somewhere dark.
Okay.
That's around 50 degrees. So it'll go down somewhere in our subterranean basement, whatever. But you Google that and there's all kinds of directions and ways to do this. Also, they're like, yeah, some of this is prone to rot, expect 30% to go. But I'm just going to consider this a massive win if by next spring I have non-rotted bulbs that you can then just plant anywhere.
Yeah.
So that was number 1. I was pretty proud of myself. Okay. And so I got all the dirt out, which sucked. It blew, and of course it was super windy. So it was just pull bulb, whoosh, dirt in face, keep going, don't get it in my ear pods, kind of a thing, right? The second part, and I won't say the name of the airline because I really love this airline, despite the fact that there was a massive delay from one flight to another.
That's right.
So I flew from one airport to another and I had a quick connect. It was like an hour. So I get off the plane all buzzing to go to my next spot. Delayed. So I ended up having a 6-hour layover.
Wow.
And in this airport, there's this thing called minute spas.
Oh.
Yeah, where you pay by the minute, which felt a little odd.
To get what?
Well, you just get a little room that you can just relax in.
Oh.
And not have to look at people.
So but you don't get a facial?
No. So spa, I may have made up spa. Minute Suites. Did I say Minute Spa?
You did.
Okay, Minute Suites. So it's like, I think for $120, I was supposed to get 2 hours, but the gal who was helping me get in there, the room wasn't ready when I had signed up. So the clock was ticking against my actual time. And then by the time it got to be up there, it was like half an hour later. She's like, I don't care how long you stay in there.
Oh, nice.
Just go for it. I don't think there was a big queue waiting to go in the Minute Suites. So I sat in there and I read and I caught up on work and I laid on a couch with a freshly laundered blanket and a pillow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that existed.
Me neither. And it was a delight. It made a 6-hour layover quite comfortable. So
good.
After wrangling canna bulbs, getting more canna bulbs, and then having the disappointment of a layover, it actually wasn't that bad because I got to just be horizontal and doom scroll.
Yeah. Fun.
Yeah.
Fun. But we all want to do.
Exactly. I mean, like, really, when you have some time alone, you just want to kind of sit there and stare at a wall. And this allowed me to do that with the door closed.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I made lemonade out of lemons.
That's what we're supposed to do. Good for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Well, Dash, this week, should we get into this one?
Let's do it.
This is called the Brandy Hellville and the Cult of Fast Fashion. We watched this on HBO. I'm going to say popular in the 20-teens.
Would you have even known?
Let me tell you my first impression.
Okay, can't wait.
In my tile, and I think we see the same thing, but there was a girl with long blonde hair, a striped tank top, frayed jean shorts. The hell part of the name was on fire, and there was a heart over the I in Ville. And then I did a roll of my eyes and I thought, here we go, another fashion cult. Not that there's a ton of fashion cults out there, but this is what I'm thinking.
Right.
And then I have never heard of Brandy Hellville.
I actually think it's they made it Hellville. I think
I
it's
realize that.
Melville.
Mhm.
Is that it?
Yeah, because I shortened it up in my notes to be BM. And nurse speak is bowel movement.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
so
Okay.
that was exciting for
Which is
me.
kind of true in and of itself.
It is,
as it
yeah.
relates to this thing. I saw the same thing. So when we're looking at the tile, right, to be here, I saw the same thing. But my impression, I think did it say one size fits most?
Probably. I can't see that far.
Okay.
But there was more on the.
I
Yes.
think that was on there.
That would be a theme of the show, too.
It sure was. And all I could think was, well, that's a very waifish human.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and nothing against the girl or model who posed for that picture, but that is not one size fits all. Period. Next paragraph, right?
Most.
Or most. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So I also thought of Mary Kate and Ashley.
Oh, good times.
Right?
Yeah.
Little, tiny, hair as long as their body, skinny little things.
Yeah.
That's what I picture. So that my impression was like, okay, we're going to see some entitled, skinny white girls.
Oh, well, you weren't far off.
I wasn't.
So briefly, this was about Brandy Melville.
Right.
This is a store that sells clothes to tween to teens would be, I think, their target group.
Yeah, well, we certainly are not.
No. And then Stephen, right? Or Stefan?
I don't know. He's Italian. How would you say it?
Stefan. That's how Minnesota was. Oh, that'll be fun this episode. Yeah, I mean, this just kind of goes into this store, basically.
Well,
and people who work there.
You mean like what Brandy Hellville is all about?
It's documentary. There's ongoing litigation, which they didn't really go through. And it's kind of telling us about this Brandy Melville store.
Yeah. And Brandy Melville, I can't tell still to this day, was this available online or was it only through these stores?
I don't know. Because I thought it was a person. At first I thought, who's Brandy Hellville and what is she selling?
The cult of fashion.
The cult of fashion. What communal home are they living in now?
Right.
But it turns out it's a store and wildly popular.
Yes. And so there's two parts to this title. There's Brandy Hellville, which is the store.
Yes.
And the fact that it was hellish.
Yep.
The store, the ethos, everything about it kind of hellish. And then the second part of it is the cult of fashion, which I think then taps in when we're talking about what this documentary is all about, is that there's two parts to it. It's like, not only is this a bad brand and situation, but then there's fast fashion as a cultural phenomenon.
So spoiler alert here, if you want to continue living in your bubble, don't even watch this.
Right.
Because
You're right.
was very upsetting to me.
Yep.
And some of these scenes. And I guess we could jump to that part.
Yeah.
Where we skip to the fast fashion part and talk about Ghana, Africa, where all of our donated clothes, you think you're giving this away to veterans because it says it on the box.
Yeah.
And then it's ending up at Kantamanto market in Africa.
I was really struggling to say it. Kantamanto. I kept saying like Kathmandu.
That's what I want to say too, but it's not. It's Kantamanto
not.
In Ghana, there or in the ocean and beaches.
Cows standing on it.
Yes. So that was really, really hard to watch.
It was. And I think so there's not only the organization. So you take this guy, Stefan, who stood this up. He saw a market and he wasn't wrong. These girls went bananas for these clothing items. And from what I can tell, they were accessible, kind of cheap, and it was quickly made. So
in Prato, Italy. So they did get to have the Made in Italy tag.
Right.
Which quite honestly, I would feel different about. without knowing what's going on
Of
behind the
course.
scenes.
Which is why, again, spoiler, if you want to live in your bubble and you don't want to know about fast fashion, and they call into question, so skipping ahead, but also in line of like what this thing is all about, you compare Brandy Melville to Zara, Shein,
Yeah.
and all the other now well-known fast fashion brands who pride themselves on pumping out thousands of designs a
Yes.
day or a week or whatever.
I didn't realize that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't shop like that.
Do your girls?
No.
Oh, see, Piper loves a good Shein buy.
Oh, I've never bought from there.
Okay.
And now I can say I never will.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Lucy was like, we went to Costco and she's like, if you see any clothes, just go ahead and throw it in. I'm like, nope, sorry. I watched a show. So now our lives are changing. But it did. I put on this sweater, which is decades old. So I thought to myself, okay,
Timeless.
timeless.
I really like it,
And
actually.
my good old, I've had these fit flops for a long time.
I mean, just holding on.
Yes.
It gets into how much do you really need, right? And like it gets into the psychology of our more, better, and
Yeah.
and keeping up with brands and styles.
Well, and who does that the most? Teenage girls.
Yeah.
And so they bring home their hauls and they have their fit checks. And this is a big deal to be a Brandy's girl, right? They said
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
And this girl is kind of a typical small, because at first they said one size fits all.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had to change it to one size fits most.
Right.
This girl is likely a white girl,
Mm-hmm.
blonde, preferably.
Yep.
Tall. I mean, I would imagine tall simply because of the small factor, but maybe not. Petite. But these clothes were kind of beach vibe, Americana, some frills, baby doll tees. I mean, he knew what he was doing.
Well, he made no bones about picking specific girls with a specific look and demographic. So he took girls from Southern California, from like Orange County.
Mm-hmm.
So these girls were not suffering. These girls probably had all kinds of nutritious foods and, wanted for nothing. Nothing against that. But he took those girls and then asked them what they liked.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you take anybody who has it all and you replicate that for the masses, it's going to be popular.
Yep.
We all intrinsically as human beings want what someone we perceive to have as a higher status. We want that too,
Mm-hmm.
right? So he took that and then he made it viral. So
the girls made it viral. Yeah.
He also instigated these shoots. So a part of this documentary goes into the portrayal, thank you, of girls who worked for Brandy Melville. So they were all portrayed by actors who then would share their story, which was, I was a certain size, I treated people a certain way, we were somewhat racist in our approach. Like some people were welcome in the store, other people we just sort of ignored. There were girls who worked there who were not white, skinny, and small, and they were, shocker, in the stock room.
Yeah.
So there were practices, but the problem is that the people who were involved in this were okay with it because they were just so happy to be a part of this Brandy movement.
And just unaware.
Yes.
How much are you socially conscious at age 15, 16, 17? Because they were hired so young.
Yes, 0.
15-year-olds were hired.
Right. I
mean, and the Willow was one I wrote down. She was the photographer.
Mm-hmm.
So she was discovered on Tumblr. She was wearing a dress.
Yes.
And she had taken a picture of herself in this dress and then got a email that was so not professional. Do you want to work together?
Right.
And it was from the Brandy Melville people.
Jesse.
Oh, yeah. The right-hand man, Jesse. So then that's how she worked for them.
Yeah. And I think she kind of uprooted her life to go down and do this. And then the clothes and the girls and the look and the style and the whole lifestyle was promoted through Instagram.
Yes. The girl
on this white wall.
They would just Yeah, and the girls just they just kept doing this because this is what the girls were doing.
Now, here's where we're gonna. Would you do it if you were approached? Would you have been a Brandy girl?
I would not have.
And I would have.
Yeah, I know.
You know that. Did you think about that when we were watching that part?
No, but that's a great. I mean, I knew where you were going with that. No, that I would not have been in the store probably.
Well,
even as a teen, I don't think I ever went into the store that was dark, always dark. Hollister.
Oh, or Abercrombie and Fitch.
I didn't go there either.
Yeah, no, yeah. I didn't either. I couldn't afford it.
Well,
and here's the thing I wouldn't have been a Brandy girl, but I would have done it if I could have been. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Except that these girls are just so young. Just are so impressionable. So you imagine they're working for minimum wage. They're so swayed by, here's the company credit card. We get to take a jet to Milan or China.
Right.
You get to pick up what you want. And then they just use that where they had teenagers doing that.
Yeah.
Versus like in other brands, it would be executives that were getting paid executive wages. They have these teens that are like, I'm just so happy to be on a plane.
Yeah.
I'm in a hotel room.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's celebrate.
And that's cheap. If that's all you do is wine them, dine them that way. And then you actually,
it's kind of genius.
Or if you want the pulse of fashion, that's who you bring with you, right?
You do.
Yeah, pick out these things and we'll go on back to the U.S.
Right. And I think there were also a few instances where the girls were wearing non-Brandy Melville clothes, and then they were asked to give whatever it was to the designer, and then they'd reproduce it.
Well, and one girl got paid for her $100, right?
Yes.
Give away her pants, and then the other girl, who was not white,
yes,
she was Asian, I think, and
not lost on me.
Used her pants, and she did not get paid.
Right.
Yeah. So I just, it was, and they did say that they had this text thread, they as in Stephen and Jesse and the higher ups, and it was really racist.
The senior leadership thread. It was racist. It was sexist. It was anti-Semitic. Like there was no shortage of wrong things.
No, it was wrong. It wasn't like boys will be boys, locker room.
Yeah, no.
Okay, give me a break. I'll roll my eyes when people say that anyway. But
yeah,
no, this was bad. And then I also hated the fact that I'm sorry, you had to do your shift outfit. If my boss needs a picture of me before I work daily, I'd be fired if I did that.
Well, yeah, me too.
Here's what I'm wearing today.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really, and the girls didn't like it. Most of them, it sounded like they just got it over with.
Toward the end, but I think in the beginning, there was this aura of kind of like the being chosen.
Yes,
when
you're
you
right.
Take these pictures. So I think in the beginning, like the wall and being on the Instagram, I think it convoluted, and where the Venn diagram overlapped, I don't know, but there was this moment of time of they were honored to be featured and pictured. Then it got to be this job requirement, and which then could also be why you were fired.
Yeah.
Or I didn't see anything like, have them change.
Nope, there was a lot of fire that girl.
Girl.
And even hire that girl.
Wasn't there a button
in one of the stores? Yeah.
Where he had a nest.
Yeah, that was...
Can we talk about that?
Sure.
Because when it showed where the nest was, it was not visible.
No, and then he'd push a button, and if the counter button lit up, the girl who was checking out this customer was supposed to offer her a job.
Right.
I mean, that's really weird too, and presumptuous. Like,
as if they'd want a job.
Yeah, maybe they don't.
I doubt it. Or, I mean, at that point, I kind of like lost track of timing, because this still went on. I have a date, September 2021. So like even as we do this whole thing that started when?
2014, it was big.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that's when it started, but that's when it was like big.
In 2012, the Canada store was launched because one of the guys, I don't remember his name, but he was...
They didn't say it because he's blacked out.
Oh, you're right, because he's in ongoing litigation.
Yes, there were two men, a former store owner, the Canada guy,
Yep.
and then a former senior VP.
Yes.
And they
right.
didn't say what the litigation was about. Or did they? And I missed it.
I mean, pick your poison here.
Yeah.
It had to have been like one of them stood up for the fact that he hired people of color.
And and then they just stopped shipping clothes there, right?
Right.
That was the Canada guy.
Yeah, there was something.
I think they both actually did.
Probably.
Maybe say, no, I actually need this employee. She's a good manager.
Yeah, she's a good manager. She's doing it.
Yeah.
Like, what is this? So there was like this, on one hand, these girls loved it. And then yet behind the closed doors, everything was really gross. It was
chaotic.
Built on gross morals, ethics, virtues. And here's the thing. To be a clothing company, you don't have to be virtuous, but just don't be outwardly disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
How about that?
It was Kate Taylor, who was the investigative journalist for Inside. In 2021, she broke her story.
Got it.
And then that led to those the girls left.
Yes.
And then like a week later, it was back to normal. It sounded like it seemed like it recovered. They opened stores in China.
Well, think about how bad news happens all the time.
Oh, yeah. And you're on to the next bad news. You don't have enough time to process.
And at the end of the day, it's just this little brand of clothing that we do or do not care about.
Yeah, so had you heard of this brand at all?
I really haven't.
Okay, so I'm not that far.
No.
Near my rock this
No. You were not in the dirt this time.
Yeah.
Like you were
a lot
comfortably.
Of I'm not aware of what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
This type of world.
Well,
but
in fashion, I'm not the one to ask either, but
even like Piper wasn't on her radar.
No. So 2012, when this thing started, I mean, Addie and Luce were, what, 5? So
she wasn't begging for that. She had her baby doll tees that were the same size. 5 tees, probably the same size as.
I think that was on there.
They held up a shirt.
Yes, like a toddler size shirt that would fit. I mean, it's disgusting. Their fight back was called Diet_Prada. Did you understand that? So like when the story broke and Kate Taylor broke the story and the girls spun off, there was something about Diet_Prada. I don't know if that is an Instagram handle, if that is a whatever feed, but I don't know. That's where a bunch of girls flocked to talk about.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The banes of Brandy Hellville.
Yeah. Well, Stephen or Stefan, he liked Ayn Rand, however we say her name, Atlas Shrugged and The Fountainhead. And I actually read those books before I really understood what that was.
Did you get a sense of what it, I mean, neo-libertarianism?
It's I mean, I don't know. No, I was too young. I just read books voraciously.
Of course.
And I read those ones pretty quick, but he has John Galt, who is one of the characters, and that's in the sign all over all these stores.
Yes.
Yeah, so good for him.
I mean there wasn't a lot of redeeming qualities or people in this. So all the trouble with this particular documentary for our podcast is, number one, all of the characters their identities are withheld. So we really don't get to know them.
Same type of person.
Right.
They're either the girls that work there who are just like impressionable youths hired there, working in some capacity and being like, this is really chaotic.
Right.
And then, then you've got the 2 blacked out workers that we don't even know their names.
Senior executive men who can't come on film.
And then we got the other part that takes place across the world.
Yes.
And like we've already touched on that, the Africa, and then the Italy, Prado too.
So let's go there, because there's Made in Italy, which we all in the United States, that Made in Italy equals quality. Like that's the mantra. That's what you think. under certain circumstances.
Yeah.
So it's in Prado, and I have to hand it to the mayor. He was kind of like, he's like, look, Prado is where you get cheaply made things that people exploit Italy as a country to actually say made in Italy.
Yeah.
He said, like you mentioned, 10% are Chinese companies, and they are the companies putting the goods together.
Yep.
I think they make up 90% of the actual creation of the goods, the 10% of the countries, or 10% of the population. Then we had Claire, and Claire was the CEO of a textile business, and she got into everybody outsources. So the thing about it, what I liked about Claire is that she wasn't necessarily demonizing Brandy Melville, but she also wasn't like defending the industry in general. She's like, everybody outsources to some degree in order to remain competitive and at a certain price point. And Claire was one of the very few people who actually had a plant.
Oh, yeah.
So she stood out to me. And in fact, I drew Claire's plant because she looked like she was in some sort of nice facility, and she had a big potted something or other behind her. And that's kind of also where the story then came back over to Ghana, which is Ghana is sick and fucking tired of getting our donated clothes.
Because they're worse quality.
Yes.
Even they're saying, oh, this is actually worse than it has been.
Right.
And they're getting, okay, I did write this down. They're getting 15 million garments a week.
Yes.
And the population of Ghana is 32 million people, the whole country.
Yep.
And so they can each have a new outfit.
Once a week.
But there's 36 billion units of clothing sold or produced a year.
Yeah.
And 85% of it is thrown away. That's the part I was like, no. Ugh.
I know. But how many times have you had something and thought, I guess I'm going to donate this?
Yes. Oh, a lot.
And I kind of thought that was high quality and being repurposed.
Yeah.
Not so.
Well,
with these fast fashion.
Because some of these people over in Ghana, they have their little businesses, and they alter these clothes, they mend these clothes, they make new clothes because they were too big.
Right.
I mean, like, so I thought that was really interesting and a good way to deal with it, but it was still really, really hard to see all of those clothes on the beaches. They just couldn't get to the beach. And then the scientists in Ghana, there's microfiber in the water, which I think we all know that too.
96. So he took a sample. I'm going to look for my little note here. He took a sample, and it was basically like they found 96 particles in that particular sample, which means that in a sense, like you're just drinking the plastic of which these clothes are made.
Yeah. And then you just gotta, you know that like we are people, but I'm sure ocean life also doesn't really thrive on plastic.
Eating, drinking, consuming, it's in their gills.
A lot. Yeah. So it did make me wear my old sweater today and think I'll keep this around till I can.
Right.
I have a sewing machine.
Do you think that you would maybe go so far as to repurpose things?
There's this girl, and I wish I would know who it is, but I don't do, I think she's maybe on TikTok a lot, but she does repurpose things in such a good, cool way.
Yeah.
But yes, actually I do. I already do repurpose things because I'm making those quilts for my nephews and senior graduates.
Yes.
And so I am taking their t-shirts and their jerseys and I'm making them into a quilt.
I know.
So
I can't wait to see those.
Yeah. So in my own way, I'll just try to do what I can.
It's kind of the best we can do, right?
And you've got your shirt with your hole in the armpit.
You know, I keep wearing it. It's not on now.
Wearing the same workout clothes for a decade now. I mean,
yeah. Because I don't need anything else. I mean, okay. At times for work, I will need new things because you can only wear something so much. But I do try to buy things that I will rewear as much as humanly possible. So I personally am not a huge fast fashion kind of gal. I see the draw, and I do try to prohibit it in my house as much as possible.
Yeah, I don't do it because I don't feel fashionable really at all.
None of it looks good on me anyways.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too. And I don't really trust buying it online. I mean, well, it's probably going to smell.
What was disgusting to me was the comment that each garment, so maybe this gets back to what it smells like. 100 hands have touched a garment before it reaches us.
Yep.
Okay, here's a question. Do you or do you not wash a garment before you wear it?
Underwear, I do.
Okay.
Yeah. But otherwise, no.
Me neither.
Yep. But I do wash the underwear.
Okay.
Yeah. Because my mom did.
That was something growing up. It's like, thou must wash your underwear before you wear it.
Check, Mom.
Okay.
And sheets. I'll wash my sheets before I sleep on them, like if I buy them.
Okay.
And towels, just because I think towels need a wash to be better absorbent.
So for the most part, you do, with the exception of clothing that's not in the nether areas.
Exactly.
Okay.
Socks I'll throw on. Yeah.
I'm
just going to give it up, My toes can handle it.
It's going to be fine.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well,
and what's interesting is I have a friend who worked for an unnamed company that happens to have a very large footprint in the state we live in, and she would never not wash clothing.
Yeah,
but as a buyer, I think you get that view into the factory and the textiles and think better of it.
Yeah.
But I am just so damn excited to put on whatever it is that I can't be bothered.
Well, I like the way a new pair of socks feels.
Yeah.
Pre-wash.
Do you know that Jeff, there was a sweatshirt that he had for a while that started to show armpit stains? And I was like, why do you have armpit stains? Like, what have you been doing? And he's like, well, I haven't washed it. I was like, oh my God. And it had been like a year. He's like, well, I don't want to get rid of that new feeling.
Well,
the new sweatshirt feeling.
Yeah, but spoiler alert, your body oil and
skin cells
are going to do it for you.
I mean, back to our mic check where we were talking about the Band-Aid floating around and all of the other things in a pool. Yeah, collecting in a sweatshirt. I died a little bit inside. I was like, that has to stop right now.
And don't ever let me borrow that sweatshirt.
Well, and I happen to think, and I'm going to check now, was that irreversible armpit stains? Like, was that so much deodorant caked up that it's probably just
hanging out?
Yeah, dead in there. Yeah. So, Brandy Hellville kind of sucked in a couple of ways. They treated women poorly, or they treated girls like objects. They were racist, sexist, anti-Semites. They treated people like shit. We all know that the fast fashion industry is bad for all human beings.
Yeah.
Ghana's losing. They're like, stop sending me your shitty fast fashion clothes that don't fit. We're like killing our oceans. Like, there's really no redeeming. Are there any winners?
Yes.
Who?
Montego is a brand in Prada, and they've been there for a while. And this company, they're the ones that make the textiles from recycled clothes.
Okay.
And they do not use chemicals. They only use a mechanical process.
Okay.
And that was really interesting to see that, because they had a sorter there who would put all shirts this, and then they use these machines to break that fabric down. And I even went so far as to Google them to see, like, maybe I'll buy something from them. That's not how it works. I think you buy the textile from them.
So this would go into, are we making our own clothes?
Yes. And if we did, is there a shirt, or is there a slogan? Is there a one-liner from this episode we want on there?
Oh, gosh. The thing that I thought of, which probably the grammar is, I'm gonna cringe when I re-listen to myself.
Okay.
If cows are standing on clothes, it means you don't need those.
Oh, I like that.
right?
It's got some rhyming.
It has some rhyming. And at the end, I thought, oh my God, the cows were, and they were chewing. What they were chewing, they're not goats. I have no idea what it was eating upon that. It didn't pack a snack down here and start walking up and chew it at the top of its clothes mountain. It was probably eating the clothes.
The deodorant. The deodorant stain from armpits.
Yeah, it was like actually that has some good juicy bits in it.
Yeah.
So that's probably what I'd put on there. The other thought I had was sustainability as a language.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because that came from the Ghanaians who were like, they said that sustainability is their language.
Yeah, they were inspiring. I would put Obroni Wawu, and they said that was a term for dead white man's clothes.
We probably do need that on a bumper sticker
or on a T-shirt.
Obroni Wawu.
Yeah, Obroni Wawu.
Okay, well,
dead white.
Maybe we can put that on here where we can actually see, and then maybe someone from Ghana can be like, "That's not at all how you pronounce it." Okay, like you people,
let us know.
Let us know. You're right. Okay, so I mean, we won't be buying from Brandy Hellville.
No, that's suffice to say.
Well, either way, it was fun chat.
It was, it was good. It was a good pod.
Should we do it again?
Let's do it again.
All right. Yeah. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
Well, there you have it. You may have picked up on a fact or two.
Or just convinced yourself you did.
Either way, that's the GIST Project. Never educational, but always entertaining.